So we'll begin in child's pose. And it has been a while, so feel your mat beneath you. Make contact, feel the contact of your body on the ground. Just taking a quick mental scan, how you're feeling, how your body feels, how you physically, mentally. And then just start to take notice of your breath. Start to incorporate your Ujjayi breath, where you breathe in deep through the nose, exhaling through the nose, and really focusing on your breath throughout this entire practice. The asanas or the poses are important, but more than anything, it's the breath, more than anything. So remember to breathe. On your next breath in, come up to a tabletop. And your fingers are spread wide, shoulders directly over your wrists. And then move through some cat and cow. You drop your belly, really lift up through the neck, the head, peeling your shoulder blades back. And then as you exhale, tucking your tailbone under, curving your spine. And really making big arches, big belly drops, and matching breath with your movement. And work through some of the cat and cows, and then at the same time, if you would like, maybe twisting side to side. Just awakening your spine. And then find your stillness, come to center, tuck your toes under, and this time I want you to sit yourself back up on your heels, so you're really on your toes. And if this is too much on your toes, this toe stretch, then you lean forward a little. But otherwise, again, with breath, we're stretching our toes. You kind of sit back on your heels and maybe just stretch out your hands and just work your fingers. And let's take 3 cycles of breath here. Two more breaths. Just moving your arms. And on your last breath in, sweep your arms up, reach high to the sky. As you exhale, come back into that tabletop, coming off your toes. Keep your toes tucked under and then press back for your first down dog. And then pedal it out here. Maybe twisting your hip, your knee in one time, one direction, or one at a time, one direction. And then find stillness. Take a big breath in, a big breath out. On your next inhale, rise high up on your toes. And then shift forward into a high plank. And I want you to hold it here in high plank. Your tailbone slightly tucked under. Your core is tight. Your gaze is looking down at the mat so that your neck is neutral. And you just hold here for a moment. And notice your elbows, sort of roll them out, roll them in. So a lot of times when I say hug your elbows tight, they sort of roll in. Press back for down dog. Take a breath here. Walk your hands to your feet so that you're in a forward fold or a ragdoll. Ragdoll, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, gaze looking right between your knees. And you sway side to side. And again, you just take a scan. how you're feeling, maybe some tightness. I know for me on my right hamstring, it feels like it's ready to snap. So I have to acknowledge that, and I have to move mindfully and ease up because of that. So you do the same with whatever you feel. Start to walk your hands back out so you come back into that high plank. So again, you always need to listen to your body. You take your breaks when you need it. I want you to press forward with your toes. This time your shoulders are over your wrists. Those elbows hug in tight. Come all the way down to your belly and you untuck your toes. Bring your hands out diagonal in front of you. And then on an inhale, you press up for seal pose, lifting up through the heart, the chest, gaze looking out at the horizon. Exhale, make contact, nose back to mat. Inhale, seal. Exhale, release. Inhale, seal. Exhale, release. Bring your hands close to your rib cage. Bring those elbows close to your body. Tuck your toes under. You ignite your quads. You feel that. You feel your core pull in, and then you press up high plank. Press back, down dog. And so again, always option to use your knees, but you will find the more you engage your core pulling in, it helps so much in a push-up. Yes, there's a lot of tricep, but it's more than anything our core. Breathe in, rise high on your toes. As you exhale, bend your knees. Look at your hands. Take that giant step forward as you press your hands away from the mat. And just hold upside down for a minute. The reason I called that pressing away from the mat is sometimes, and it's okay, we have to take a couple steps or make an adjustment in our feet to take that one giant step. So the more you think about pressing away from the mat, the more we'll be able to get our body to the spot that we want it at. Take a halfway lift with a breath in. Really put length here in your spine, pressing your butt back. Forward fold, exhale. Do this again. Take a halfway lift. Breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. We'll do it a third time. Take a halfway lift. Breathe in. And on these halfway lifts, also really think about the shoulders don't roll forward. Peel them open. Again, we're creating the length in our spine. Forward fold, exhale. Always with soft joints in your knees everywhere. Slowly rise up, extended mountain pose. As you breathe in, maybe you look up. And now fold forward, exhale, leading with your heart, letting your head, neck drop last. Take that halfway lift, breathe in. Step back for chaturanga. You shift forward, low plank. Untuck your toes, press upward facing dog, and hold it here in upward facing dog. So in upward facing dog, if you can, try to have your weight on the tops of your feet, and again, your hands pressing yourself away from the mat. And then when you do it this way, your hips, your thighs, your legs are off of the mat. Press back and roll back to down dog. See if you can roll up over your toes. Again, it's another sort of toe stretch that at first might not feel amazing, but something to work towards if you want. You breathe in, rise on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Look at your hands. Take that step forward. Take a halfway lift. Breathe in. Forward fold. Breathe out. Rise up. Extended mountain pose. Breathe in. Arms reach high. Maybe you look up. Fold forward. Exhale. Take a halfway lift. Breathe in. Step back, chaturanga. Shift forward. Press upward facing dog. Peel open. Press back, down dog. All right, when you're ready, I want you to float your right leg to the sky for three-legged dog. And just hold it here for a moment. Maybe you move and awaken your ankle, rotating it. Make sure you rotate the other direction. And then I want you to take notice as your leg is still up. Find some stillness as your leg is in three-leg dog. But both hands are pressing equally into the mat. Sometimes our left elbow wants to give in a little bit and bend at the elbow. It's not that I want you to have stiff joints, but I want you to continue to press equally both hands. Step this right foot forward for a low crescent lunge with a twist. So that means your right arm peels open to the sky and your gaze is looking maybe past your right armpit or past your shoulder. And you take the bend a little bit out of your back leg. Again, I don't want stiff joints, but again, that back leg becomes our kickstand leg. Place your hand back down on the mat, kick it back for three-legged dog on the right. And you take a big breath in while you're here. Step it forward for warrior one. That back foot opens up about 45-degree angle. There's distance between your hips. And then you rise up with the breath in, hips, shoulders towards the front of the mat. Take a breath in. Open up to warrior two. Try not to let your gaze, your drishti move. When you move from warrior one to warrior two, you let your body move and make the adjustments and keep your gaze as is. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, take a big inhale and hold it here. Take another breath in. And now vinyasa to down dog, cartwheeling your arms down. See if you can float that right leg up as you come down low plank. Press upward facing dog with an inhale, downward facing dog with an exhale. Maybe pedal it out. Left leg to the sky, and you power up here. You press yourself away from the mat. You awaken that ankle. You rotate the other direction. And you lift a little bit higher, right through that lifted left heel. Take a big breath in. Step it forward for low crescent lunge with a twist. Left arm peels open. That back leg ignites. And you gaze up at the sky. Three-legged dog on the left. Hand comes down to the mat. You kick it back. Take a breath in. Step it forward, warrior one. You land, make your adjustments, and then you lift up with breath in. And you find your focal point on that front wall, wherever it is. You keep your view there, and you open up warrior two, powerful. Yoga is meditation and motion. We're moving and meditating. Reverse this and hold it here for a breath. Take another breath. And then when you're ready, you vinyasa to down dog. Maybe you float that left leg. You press upward facing dog. Press back, down dog. Together, breathe in, rise on your toes. You bend your knees, you look at your hands, you walk or you hop. If you hop, try to land lightly and practice this. It's great to practice. Take a halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Utkatasana chair, sink your hips. Your toes lift up as you then lift up your heart. And you make any adjustments you need to. with your tailbone slightly tucking under. And again, option for cactus arms, taking some tension off your neck. Take a breath in. And now forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, you breathe in. Step back or shoot back for chaturanga. If you shoot back, you land in a low plank. Press upward facing dog, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Warrior one. Breathe in as you rise. Open up warrior two as you exhale. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Vinyasa to down dog. Move as slow or as fast as you wish. You follow your breath. Press upward facing dog. Press back, down dog. Warrior one on the left. You land. Let your drishti take you from the floor up to the wall as you breathe in. Open up warrior two as you exhale. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Vinyasa to down dog. You press upward facing dog, breath in. Press back, down dog. Nice work. We move through one of these again. You breathe in, rise on your toes. Bend your knees, look at your hands, hop forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold out. Utkatasana chair pose. Breathe in all the way to your fullest. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Shoot back for chaturanga. You land low plank. Press upward facing dog. Press back, down dog with an exhale. Warrior one on the right. You lift up with breath into your fullest. Open up warrior two. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Vinyasa to down dog. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one, left. Land, breathe in. Warrior two as you exhale. Reverse your warrior, inhale. Vinyasa to down dog. And this time, come into a puppy pose. Nice work, you guys. All right, we're in puppy pose, and you listen and you feel. Is your heartbeat moving? I know mine is. So we settle our breath, or a heartbeat with breath. So I want you to take your big breaths in. Maybe hold it at the top, and then release it out. Maybe it's through the mouth. And if you ever give a presentation and your heartbeat starts to go, I've been giving a ton of presentations, so I apologize, but you take a breath. You take a moment to take a breath. It doesn't have to be audible for the whole classroom to hear, but take a breath. It will help slow your heartbeat. Walk your hands over to the right side, left hand on top of the right. Really create resistance here in that side body stretch. And I want you to take a big breath in, big breath out. Walk your hands back center. Take a breath in, a breath out. And then on empty, walk your hands over to the left, right hand on top of the other. You take a breath in and a breath out. Walk your hands back center and find yourself back in tabletop. And again, I just want to talk about the importance of breath in yoga. If you guys ever wanted to show up to this class and go, I'm just going to do a couple of these and then breathe the rest of the time, you are still doing yoga, because that's what it is. Tuck your toes under, press back, down dog. Float that right leg to the sky, take a big breath in. Step that right foot on the outside of your right hand so that your toe is pivoting out, maybe off your mat. Your heel is pivoting in. Then I want you to rise up on those right toes. Nice, you guys. Now I want you to twist open. Have that right arm reach to the sky. So we're up on our right toes. We're twisting open, right arm to the sky. Create a cactus arm here and really pull back. You're pressing your left hand away from the mat and you're letting your chest see the sun. With an inhale, I want you to reach forward towards the front of the room. With an exhale, you twist open with that cactus arm. You inhale, reach forward. Exhale, twist open. And last one, inhale, reach forward. Bring that hand down to the mat, kick back for three-legged dog with a big breath in. And now open up for Sunbird and stay here for a moment. So in Sunbird, our hips open up to that side wall, and you're really trying to pull through that lifted right heel, trying to see if you can almost touch your butt cheeks. Straighten that front leg, or straighten that right leg again with a breath in. Step it forward for a high crescent lunge. Both feet face 12 o'clock, and then when you're ready, you lift up, arms to the sky. That back leg is powerful, your kickstand leg, so you take a little bit of that bend out. And let's soften our neck. Take cactus arms here. And settle your breath. Your eye is on the prize. You're looking at something straight ahead. And it becomes to the point where you look right through it and you just breathe. With your arms as is, I want you to bring that back knee and hover it closer to your mat. And then straighten both legs, bring your arms up to the sky with a breath in. As you exhale, hover back down with cactus arms, knee close to the mat. You inhale, reach high, arms and legs. Exhale, cactus, hover. Last one, inhale, reach high. Exhale, cactus, hover. You start to put more weight in that top front right foot, and I want you to shift forward into airplane pose, lifting that left leg up behind you, driving through that lifted left heel. And then your hands maybe are in prayer hands or they reach behind you. In an airplane, you're flying. But all of your limbs ignite here. Use the energy throughout each cell to create that lightness in you. Step it back for high crescent lunge. Land lightly. Bring your arms back up to the sky. Take a breath in. And now vinyasa to down dog. Move slow. Take your breath. You press upward facing dog. Big breath in. Downward facing dog. Big breath out. You pedal it out. And then you find your stillness. Float that left leg high to the sky. Now step it forward on the outside of your left foot. Toes out, heels in. Come up on your left toes. And now cactus that left arm, twisting open. Nice work. Take a breath in. Reach towards the front of the room. Exhale, cactus. Inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale forward. Exhale, cactus. Place your hand back down on the mat. Kick back. Three-legged dog on the left. Open up, Sunbird. Step that left foot to a high crescent lunge. And then when you're ready, take cactus arms. And then you hover that back right knee. Take a breath in, reach high. Exhale, hover. Inhale. Exhale. You inhale. Exhale. And then inhale. I don't know how we ended this. Exhale. And then vinyasa to down dog. I feel like I'm missing something and I apologize. So vinyasa, we're going to get it down to down dog. Okay. We're going to do this again. A little different though. Float that right leg high to the sky. Take a big breath in. Step it forward for that low crescent lunge. This time your foot is framed by both hands. Twist open to the right. And actually drop that back knee. So you're on your toes and that back foot, but you're on your knee. And then try to bend at the knee and grab for that foot. Maybe you have to walk your hands out a little bit, but you're creating a quad stretch with a twist here. And if you can't touch, that's okay. Just bending the leg is planting the seed for that next step. And then you release without slingshotting it. Bring your hand back down to the mat. And now heel toe that right foot out. So again, toes out, heels in on the edge of the mat. Our back knee is down. And I want you to take a breath in here. And as you exhale, see if you can come lower into this lizard pose. Maybe coming down to your forearms. Maybe rolling on the knife edge of your right foot so your knee opens up. This is a big hip opener, so I want you to take some breaths here. And every time you exhale, see if you can let go of something. The tension in your furrow of your brow bone here. As you exhale, maybe the tension in your neck, you shake your head no. And as you exhale, the tension in that hip, we want to hold on. We want to hold on to everything. But we have to learn to let go. And we have to learn to love ourselves. Always, you guys. It's the only thing that we can control is loving ourselves. Start to press yourself up, walking that right foot back into the middle. I want you to pop up on that back foot. And now I want you to walk your hands so you pivot into a wide-legged stance. Nice work, you guys. Okay, so take a breath in first, like a halfway lift here. And then as you exhale, really slow. My hamstrings are tight. So again, you take notice, where do you feel it? And you breathe into that. And you're just hanging heavy here. Gaze looking right at the wall behind you. And then I want you to make contact, maybe taking your hands, reaching further behind you, or maybe it's your calves, your ankles. And again, concentrate on that breath so that every exhale, you release something in your face, your neck, your shoulders. Start to lift up halfway. Both hands are on the mat, and you're really thinking about pressing that tailbone back, creating length in your spine. We're going to do Skandasana to the right leg. So that means you start to lean over to that right leg. Your hands can stay on the floor if you'd like. And that long leg, the left one is long, yep. And then if you can, you start to look. Well, again, you choose. You can look at the ground. It might be easier on your neck. But at some point, maybe you look up at the horizon. Maybe your hands are in prayer hands. And again, you take only what you can, and you breathe into the space. And then maybe using your hands, I want you to Skandasana to the left leg. Moving slow. And then move back to Skandasana to the front of the mat on that right leg. And now pivot your entire body so that your hands frame that right foot. Kick it back for three-legged dog on the right with a breath in. Open up for sunbird. And now either stay or flip your dog. And if you flip, you place both heels in the mat and one on the floor maybe, and you press your hips up to the sky. Maybe you let your gaze follow your right fingertips reaching towards the front of the room. Come back to a high plank. And now a side plank, heels to the right. Option to use your knee, but otherwise all of your limbs, again, ignite them. You're lifting up through the hips, so you're pressing your hand away into the mat, your foot into the mat. Now vinyasa to down dog, or just move to down dog, you choose. But use your breath. Left leg high to the sky. Step it forward for low crescent lunge. I don't know what we did here. I'm so sorry, guys. I was trying to write it down. All right, heel toe your foot out. Drop that back knee. We're going to do that lizard pose. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lower your forearms as much as you can down. Drop your head. Let your hip open. Start to press yourself up. Heel toe that foot back into the center. I want you to bend that back right leg with the left arm. Reach behind you. See if you can make contact. See if you can pull up your toes, your ankle. And if not, that's okay. Again, you reach behind you and you bend that leg. And you breathe into this space. You twist open. Release that foot if you're holding on. Skandasana now to the left foot, the left leg. So you pivot towards the opposite wall. And then Skandasana to the back of your mat. Skandasana to the front of your mat. And then come back center so you're in that wide-legged stance. Take a breath in with a halfway lift. As you exhale, drop your head. Create that stretch here. Yeah, this time maybe reach, if you didn't do it this way. Reach your hands on the floor behind you. And again, you pull down, you pull yourself almost as if you're trying to crawl right between your legs. Start to walk your hands back so wrists are underneath your shoulders. Walk your hands, pivot both feet to the front of your mat. Place your hands on the mat, kick it back, three-legged dog on the left. Big breath in. Open up sunbird. And you stay or you flip. Come back to high plank. Side plank, heels to the left. Vinyasa to down dog. Nice work. Take a breath in, rise on your toes. Exhale, walk or hop forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Utkatasana chair pose. Take a breath in. Prayer hands twist to the right. Left elbow, locking onto your right knee. And you press equally both feet into the mat. And you try to have your hips lower than your heart. So you sink down a little bit more. Weight in your heels. You open your wings. Come back to chair pose center. And you breathe for 3, 2, and on 1, forward fold, exhale. Heel toe your feet hip distance. Take your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. You breathe in for length. As you exhale, you drop your head. Your joints are soft. You create your bind. Release your toes, heel toe your feet out. So you move into Malasana squat. Hips come low, elbows press against your knees and your eyes look at the horizon. And then you stay here or you practice your crow. Placing your hands down on the mat, fingers spread wide. You start to shift and put your shoulders directly over your wrists. And then start to move your knees so they fall on the tops of your triceps. And your gaze is looking out about a foot in front of your hands. And when you take flight, you point your toes. And then when you're ready, you shoot back, chaturanga, a low plank. Press upward facing dog, breathe in. Press back, down dog. Take a breath in, rise on your toes. Bend your knees, look at your hands, hop forward. Halfway lift, breathe in, create length. Forward fold, exhale. Utkatasana chair. Take a breath in. Prayer hands, twist to the left. You sink lower, and then you twist over. You open your wings. Chair pose center. You breathe for 3, for 2, and on 1, forward fold. Heel toe your feet hip distance. Gorilla pose, stepping on the palms of your hand. You take your breath in, create your space. And then on your exhale, you drop your head. Release your grip here. Heel toe your feet back out again. Come into that Malasana. And you stay or you practice that crow again. Again, hands spread wide. Start to shift your shoulders over your wrists. Walk your feet behind you to bring your knees on top of your triceps. Your gaze is looking on the floor, but about a foot out. And then you take flight. And you feel the magnetic pull between your arms. And then you shoot back for a low plank. Nice work. Okay. Really quick, come down to, I just have to take a sip of water. So I don't know if you guys need a sip. Otherwise, maybe take a child's pose real quick. All right, we're gonna try something. I did this morning, meaning I took the class and the teacher taught us this. So now I want to teach. It's a bitch, but I kind of love it. So we're going to try it. So when you guys are hydrated, your heartbeat is a little bit lower, so take some breaths. All right, when you're ready, find yourself in down dog. When you're ready, I want you to three-leg dog on the right side. Now I want you to keep that leg uplifted, shift forward into a high plank. Elbows hug tight, come low plank, keep that leg lifted, press upward facing dog, leg lifted, and then shoot it back, knee to nose. Want to try it? It's a, I love you, Carol. It's a bitch, but it feels good. So try it. So just try it once on each side, and then if you love it, all right, let me see. Sarah, I want to watch. So yes. Okay. All right, we're going to do it again. So I'm just going to switch to I'm going to go back and forth left and right. You guys decide, but just so I get equal here. So you come three-legged dog. Leg stays lifted. You shift forward to that high plank. You come down low plank, elbows need to hug tight. You press upward facing dog, leg stays lifted, and then you kick it back knee to nose in a down dog. All right, if you can, let me see you guys do it.
I unfortunately can't do it.
No, let me see you try. All right, three-legged dog. Come into the high, yeah, you got it. Yes, upward facing dog. Okay, did you switch? What leg were you using? Use the same leg the whole time. And then Carol, I only see the top.
Left.
Oh, you did left, okay. Carol, and I see, how are you doing? All right, shift forward, yes. Yes. Just, right? She had us do that probably 12 times, like throughout the whole practice. But yeah, that was a bitch. That's a lot of hugging those elbows in and wicked core work, because again, you're holding. Yeah. So food for thought. I don't know if that becomes, I guess we were doing it in a flow, but I don't know if that really is a sun A. That's just a whole advanced. But I was like, what is this? It's crazy. Okay. Let's get our heartbeat up. My heartbeat is up. But let's just do a couple more sort of flows. So when you guys are ready, come into a down dog. We'll stop that one for now. All right, we're in down dog. Take your breath in, rise on your toes. You bend your knees, look at your hands, hop forward. Take your halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, exhale. Actually take Utkatasana chair pose. Sink your hips. We're gonna do some core stuff. This will bring our heartbeat up. All right, we're in chair. I want you to rise up on your toes. You squeeze your calves, your knees, your thighs together. Take a breath in, drop a half an inch. Take a breath in, drop a half. Take a breath in. Open your knees and come into boat pose. Nice. Nice work. Take a breath in. Swing your arms to the right for a side twist here in boat. Breathe in, arms high to the left. Breathe in to the right. Breathe in to the left. And now do a couple rock and rolls and come back into that chair pose. Nice work. All right, when you guys are ready, you rise up on your toes, squeeze everything in that midline. Take a breath in, drop, Take a breath in, drop. Take a breath in, open your knees, come into your boat. You make your readjusting. And while you're in boat, I want you to bend your legs and see if you can grab your peace fingers around your big toes. And even if your legs are bent, you're in boat and you're holding on. And then at some point, you play. You're in boat and you try to straighten your legs. Nice work, Sarah. Carol, I don't know that I see your legs yet, but yes, I love it. And then, while you're here, even if you're holding your calves, I want you to rock and roll in this position. And you just play and allow, I get stuck. But it's just kind of, yes, Carol, I see you, girlfriend. I see those legs. Nice work. Okay, let's do this. After a couple rock and rolls, we're gonna stay seated. We're gonna do some leg stretches here. I don't know if you guys wanna use a strap, but when you're ready, take a wide-legged seat. And while you're in your wide-legged seat, flex your feet up. And the reason we wanna flex our feet is so we can create the stretch and the length in the underside of our thighs. All right, so take a breath in, try to create length in your spine. As you exhale, you find a little speckle or something on the floor, and you start to hinge forward, reaching for it. And you find that speckle, whatever it might be, and I want you to place your hands near it. And then at some point, drop your head. I want you to take some breaths here. And again, you let go of the furrow in our head, our forehead. Let go of the tension in your neck. And you truly just try to surrender. Make a rainbow. Walk your hands over to your right leg. You start with the breath in. As you exhale, see if you can come down a little bit deeper, maybe holding onto your calf, your foot. And then you breathe into this space. Same thing here. And then make that rainbow. Come back center. Let's hold center one more time. You take a breath in, a breath out. You go a little lower. Start to walk your rainbow over to your left leg. You move slow. You just take notice, one side, sometimes harder, sometimes easier. You take your breath in, create your length, and then as you exhale, you try to lower. Walk your hands back center. You breathe in, you lower one last time, and then you start to lift up at the heart. Guys, nice work. You guys are getting flatter to the ground. I see it. I'm so excited. Okay, let's do this. Swing your feet together. So legs together. We're going to do a seated forward fold. So have your flexed feet. Toes are pointing to the sky. Create the length in your spine. Swing your arms up with breath in. As you exhale, hinge forward. We're doing one more of these. You grab onto your feet or your calves, you drop your head. You take a big breath in, big breath out. Start to lift up at the heart, and we're gonna do a reverse tabletop. Place your hands, your wrists are directly below your shoulders, your fingers face towards your feet, and then just do basically a reverse tabletop. I guess that it says it enough. So fingers facing towards our feet. Our feet are 12 o'clock, and you press your weight into your heels, lifting up your hips. And then at some point, I want you to look up at the sky. I want you to continue to think about pressing your hands into the mat and pushing yourself away, truly engaging your shoulders. And your gaze again is looking up. Maybe your head drops. Again, this is a very compromising pose, so you just go where you need to. And I want you to take 3 breaths. Last breath in. And then as you exhale, start to bring your hips back down to the mat. I don't know, but that reverse tabletop, between that and camel, I always wicked feel it. All right, I saw you doing Supta Baddha Konasana. I liked that. Or Baddha Konasana. Sitting upright, bring the soles of your feet together, but they're out wide. So Supta is your spine when you're on your back. Baddha Konasana, just having our feet, same thing. Take a breath in, create length. As you exhale, have your elbows press down on your calves. Your head tries to reach forward as far as it can. And then you drop your head, your neck. Start to come up. Bring your hands behind you. And then just do some windshield wipers. Kind of moving your hips around. What do we have for time? Let's do some shoulder stand stuff. So come onto your backs. Actually, let's do this. I'm gonna get a couple more things in. Let's do bridge and wheel. So first start with your bridge. Heels close to your glutes, feet 12 o'clock. Your breath in, I want you to press your hips high. Start to walk your shoulder blades underneath you. Press your shins towards the front of the room. Notice that difference when you just kind of hang out, or if you start to really press your shins towards the front of the room. Notice how that igniting kind of lifts you up, makes you just a little bit lighter. And you feel the full arm, both arms on the floor. You just breathe. Rise up on your toes while you're here. Again, imagine your shins shifting towards the front of the mat. And then you float your right leg to the sky. You take a breath in, breath out, and you switch legs, left leg. That shin is trying to move towards the front of the mat. You breathe in, you breathe out. Bring your leg down slowly, lower all the way. You take a breath in, a breath out, and you set up for another bridge or a wheel. In the wheel, your fingers face towards your feet, and on your breath in, you maybe come to your head first, and then you, same thing, shins shift towards the front of the mat. Shoulders try to stack over your wrists. Maybe you come up on your toes. Maybe try floating a leg. Oh my God. Ugh. And then I have to come down. Nice work. Try floating a leg. I was gonna say, I could see you. All right, let's do, this time, Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet together on your back. Knees spread wide. You settle in. Bring your knees together, hug them in with a breath in. As you exhale, lower that left leg down. Bring that right leg over. Supine twist. When you're ready, start to come back to center real slow. You hug in with breath in, lower your right leg down, and tee out your arm to the left. Let your gaze follow the same direction. Start to come back center. Let's take a, so once you're centered, take a shoulder stand. You start to lift your feet up to the sky, and you lift up, pressing your triceps down on the mat, lifting your feet up to the sky, and you walk your hands behind your lower back, and your legs up have a destination. Yes, they can kind of hang there, but if you can, you point them up a little higher, growing a little longer. And then start to lower your straight, long legs behind you for plow. Maybe your toes touch behind you. And then you bend at the knees for deaf man's pose. Maybe they come on your forehead, your knees. Maybe they go past your forehead by your ears for deaf man's pose. And then you lift your legs back up to the sky. And then when you're ready, one vertebrae at a time, you lower. Nice and slow down. And then hug your knees into your chest. And wrap your arms around you, bringing your forehead up. And take this moment of gratitude. Lower your head down. Find yourself in a comfortable position, whether it's Shavasana or maybe your knees come together, your legs are bent, and your eyes are heavy. Let's just take some breaths. Taking this moment, again, appreciating the wonders of the poses that we put our bodies in. Appreciating that every day when you wake up, it's a new day. Loving yourself. Letting go where you can of the many, many things that we cannot control. And no, that's okay. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. Maybe it's just the lesson to remind ourselves to love ourselves. And then we'll get right through it. Coach yourself. And you breathe in and you breathe out. Take one more breath in, and as you breathe in, you say to yourself, my heart is now at peace. And as you exhale, my heart is now at peace. When you're ready, you come up to a seated position. Nice work, guys. And we'll end our practice when you guys are ready. We sit tall. Sweep your arms up. One last breath in together. Put our hands to heart center as we exhale. And we drop our heads. And we bow for each other. Namaste.